Hey YouTube. So I'm on spring break this week and I pretty much went the whole day without doing anything when I realized that exactly a year ago today was when I made my first YouTube video. So this is my 1-year anniversary on YouTube and I decided, well, I should probably make a video to celebrate. But I don't really have a book review to do and I wasn't sure what kind of video to make and what to talk about. And then I found this tag that's called the Booky Wooky tag. It sounded really fun and I wasn't exactly tagged by anyone, but a couple of them said that they were tagging everyone, so I figured I could just do it. And it's my anniversary, so I can do whatever I want. So we'll get started with that. The first question is, what book would you take with you on a long flight? And for that, I would say I would pretty much just take whatever book I'm currently reading. I don't think I would choose a particular book just because it's a long flight. I would probably just grab a couple books that were on my to-read pile and take those along. The second question is, what is your guilty pleasure? And I kind of have a lot of those, but one of them for reading is definitely Christian romance novels. And I would probably like any romance novels, but Christian ones tend to be a little less dirty, I guess. And so I really, really love reading those. I can't read them all the time because they're just so fluffy and pretty meaningless, but I love Christian romance novels, and I also really love period dramas and mainstream pop music. So those three things are probably my guilty pleasures. The third question is actually really difficult, and I had to give this a lot of thought before filming this video because I knew I would need to think about it a lot. And it's choose 3 characters from any book that you would like to be friends with. And I have way more than 3, but I had to limit it. First of all, because a lot of male characters I would like to be more than friends with, if you know what I mean. So I tried to limit it to mostly female characters. So my 3 are Anna from Anna and the French Kiss, mostly just because when I read that book, I really identified with her, and I felt like we could actually be really good friends because we have similar interests, and I love that book. My second one is probably Katniss from The Hunger Games, just because she's so cool. Who wouldn't want to be friends with her? And my third is kind of a weird one. It's Ed Kennedy, the protagonist in Marcus Zuzak's book, I Am the Messenger, and that's not a super well-known book, but Marcus Zuzak also wrote the book Thief, and those 2 books are 2 of my favorite books. And Ed Kennedy in I Am the Messenger is just a really awesome character, and he was so real to me that I feel like we could be friends. The fourth question is, what is your shoe size? And that obviously varies depending on the brand, but generally I wear a 7.5. The fifth question is, if you could write a book, what would the title be, and give a brief synopsis? And actually I wrote a book, or most of a book, for NaNoWriMo this year, and the title changed about 10 times, but the title I settled on, I think, was Atmosphere. And it was about a girl who lived on an airship, and she did something that was considered dangerous, so they kicked her off and they exiled her to this airship shipyard down below on the earth, and she is forced to repair and reconstruct these airships. Yeah, the plot wasn't very well fleshed out, but that was it. The sixth question is, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? And I definitely have an answer for this, and it's very specific. It's Edie's slow churned French silk ice cream. It is the best, seriously. It's like chocolate with chocolate bits and chocolates. It's just chocolate. The seventh question is, what book are you currently reading? And obviously I'm reading more than one book currently. That should be obvious to you. They're right here. I'm reading Half Brother by Kenneth Opel, and he's one of my favorite authors, and it's pretty good so far. And the other book I'm reading is Shipbreaker, and I'm actually having a hard time with it. I'm like almost halfway done, but for some reason it's just not grabbing me like I thought it would, even though it's the Prince Award winner. The eighth question is, in what room do you film your YouTube videos? And this is obviously my bedroom. And behind me you can see my cross-dressing stuffed animal. I've had him since I was 5, and He's actually a dude, but he's wearing a dress right now. It's okay. No biggie. The 9th question is, what's the best young adult series you've ever read? And obviously, 100% I would say Harry Potter, but some people might say that's children's literature, which I don't really care. So Harry Potter, but if it has to be solidly young adult, probably The Hunger Games. Ugh. Question 10 is, what is your best physical attribute? And I think this is a terrible question, and it doesn't really fit with the rest of them, but whatever. I'm going to answer it kind of weirdly and say my hand, just because my left hand is small and it makes for a good conversation, okay? Question 11 is, do you read any manga or comics? I don't really. I have in the past. I think I read some manga or anime when I was younger. I was probably too young because I remember it being sort of off color. I don't know, but I don't currently read any. Question 12 is, do you sleep on your side or your stomach? And honestly, I have no clue. I'm pretty sure I can sleep on whichever surface. It doesn't really matter. Question 13 is, what is your favorite bookmark? And I wish I have this giant bookmark stash, but I couldn't find it. But generally what I use as a bookmark is like a folded up Post-it note, or usually I use the receipt from the library that I check it out from. I think I have that. Actually, this book is a Jonas Brother Valentine, this bookmark. So, I really have no idea where that came from, but whatever. Question 14 is, what are you currently listening to on your iPod? And first I have to correct that because I do not have an iPod. I have a Zune, and it is much better. But this is my Zune, and I'm currently listening to the song Rewind by Måns Zelmerlöw, and I'll show you that. Okay, this is another guilty pleasure, I should say, Swedish pop music, but we'll get to that in a second. Ooh, question 15 is, what's the worst summer job you've ever had? And I haven't really had many jobs. My only summer job was last summer. I worked at the concession stand at the baseball fields behind my house. And honestly, I didn't think that it was that bad, except for I came home every day smelling like hot dogs, which was kind of disgusting. So I guess by default, that's the worst summer job I've ever had. The last question is, what is your favorite genre of music or your favorite band? My favorite genre right now is like Swedish pop music, just like ridiculously happy, loud, bassy, obnoxious pop music. Just like what you just saw on my Zune. Yeah, I pretty much listen to that all the time, and I'm always looking for new music, and if it makes you want to dance, that's when you know it's good. So that's my favorite music. Thanks you guys for watching me. Thanks for a great first year on YouTube, and I hope to have many more, and I'll see you guys soon with a book review.